Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel. This is your daily energy reading, and today I'm going to be doing a special edition reading. This is going to be a relationship spread, and I was actually guided to do even a different format from what I usually do for a relationship spread. Today we're going to be looking at, it's going to be the past, present, future spread. So we'll take a look at what was this twin flame union like, this connection like in the past, what is it now, and what is coming up. Of course, those are going to be the highlights that the spirit universe wants us to know for today, what is relevant to the current moment in time, right? I don't know where it's going to lead us. We'll find out. I also do have a clarifier deck in case we'll need some clarifications. Of course, I will pull messages between the twins at the end, and I'm going to start with the oracle cards that are called Keepers of the Light. So in this I will actually pull for each of the twins, and then we'll switch to the relationship spread. So first card will be for Divine Feminines. A word of guidance from the Ascended Masters. Hope you guys are doing great. This has been an interesting week with all the astrological events, all the energy highs and lows, but I hope that it showed you, in the end, it showed you certain insight, enlightenment, and the path forward, or at least it explained why certain things have been working out differently than you thought they were. Okay, so the feminines have got Kusumi, Cloak of Wisdom. You already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. Yeah, that's kind of on the nose, but this is a reminder for those who have a question. You already know the answer. If it's referring to your past divine feminines, but of course, in terms of the connection itself, we'll take a closer look. And you know that usually I would actually put more emphasis on the twins separately, so that you can kind of, I don't want to say stay in your lane, but you can focus on what is it that you are supposed to do, right? And we're not supposed to influence the other person anyway, right? Some people do. I'm not saying it's all bad, and sometimes we're guided to share certain knowledge to make a certain point for our twin. But more often than not, it shouldn't be our focus and our concern, right? Like, my DM is doing XYZ, oh, that's so silly, or they're gonna regret it so much. That's their business, and that's probably an important karmic lesson they need to learn, right? We're supposed to mind our own thing, and the other way around goes the same way. It's very hard, mostly because of how we were taught about love and relationship, what it's like. And that's one of the reasons we're actually here, to change those templates, to move it around. Anyways, let's get a card for Divine Masculines. But today I was guided to talk about the connection, so yeah, I guess there is a meaning in that as well. So I'm just following my inner guidance. Cernunnos, life force. Ooh, this is Mother Gaia kind of vibe. Express your drive and passion. Sensual and sexual powers are increased. Okay, so this is connection with sacral chakra more than next, but actually sacral and root chakra, they are closer to the earth. They are more about grounding and like standing strong with your both feet. So it's that kind of vibe. Together, of course, with sensuality, passion, and creativity, because sacral chakra is responsible both for the sexual energy and the creative drive. So it looks like the sacral chakra is very active for Divine Masculines today. Let me do something with the table so you can see the cards a little bit better. Okay, let's go into tarot. So I'll pull 9 cards and we'll see where we go. So for the past, we have 8 of Cups, Judgment. And by the way, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. The Knight of Swords. Now we're going into the present. 2 of Cups. It's a little embryo-like in this deck, but it is 2 of Cups. Knight of Cups. Wow. And 3 of Pentacles. Yay! The future, we have the Lovers. Four of Cups, and Five of Pentacles. It's an interesting ending. Okay. I do have my clarifier deck, just in case. Bottom of the deck, the High Priestess. I love this card in this deck so much. It's a beautiful card. So you see Divine Feminine, wink wink. You are the driving force of this connection, of how the relationship progresses, if we call it relationship for a moment, right? A lot of evangelists, twin flame guides do not agree to that word, because it's like relationship is something karmic and we're talking about union, it's something different. But for a moment, yeah, let's call it relationship. So Divine Feminine as a High Priestess is the spiritual leader in how things develop and how quickly they develop, how high quality the communication is, how much of, even to a certain extent, the karmic burden the twins have, or how much of it they can release, right? What we do for ourselves, we do for the twin. And also, you know that our DMs serve as our mirrors. So the more of negativity and ego we release and move into a high vibrational space, the more high vibe they're gonna respond to us. And the more we're both staying in that high vibe energy, the closer we're moving to union. And yes, it feels very much like on the energetic level, it's like, well, in real life, they still have their karmic partner, and I still have whatever my karmic situation. But that's the thing, that the more you stay in the high vibe, the more you're gonna see better choices, the more you're gonna see what your heart truly desires, the more you're gonna be unaccepting of anything less than great, less than what feels good on the heart space, on the soul space, right? And yeah, I mean, there is a kind of a time gap there, like there is a delay. You know, like when there is a bad internet connection and you can see the picture moving before you hear the words. There is a delay of how then it projects into the 3D space in actual events. But again, the more advanced you get, the smaller that delay is. And I was talking about it just the other day, that one of the things that, I don't remember, was it for DMs or DFs, but it was like one of the benefits, one of the goodnesses that's coming in is that the feedback loop is going to be much shorter. So it allows the person to see much better the cause and effect of what is happening within, and then has the effect without, right? That's the natural law. Anyways, so in the past, we're seeing the twins recognizing a lot of things that, like seeing the truth, facing the music, a lot of things that they needed to walk away from, including certain people, jobs, lifestyle choices. And they did walk away from those. They made a lot of adjustments. There was a lot of enlightenment, a lot of downloads, a lot of that higher vibe information that had them awaken to something bigger and better than just the 3D vibe, just the karmic stuff, right? And notice this is going on for both twins. So even if you feel like your twin is not as advanced, they're not as aware, they're just clueless, it looks like that for a reason. But they have their process. Not to mention that the process of awakening is different for masculine and feminine energy. Just general, the mindset around it, the feelings of it, it's just different. The same goes for connection and for union. Of what the pull is like for each of the twins, what the love feels like, how the love is expressed, all of those things. It has a different angle for each of the energies, so it will not necessarily look the same, and usually it doesn't. This doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Also mind, even the communication styles could be different. As we see this nudge to communication here. For some people, if they get some sort of big, huge epiphany, some enlightenment they want to share with everyone. For other people, it's so mind-blowing that it takes them a long time to get around it, like to get their head around it. Like, what does it mean? Have I really been wrong all this time? And then also forgiving themselves for that, etc., etc., right? It's also a process. So that's what we had happening in the past that contributed to what we have in the present. What we have in the present is so beautiful, and look at that. We have the Two of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles. So now there is this tighter sense of connection and union. The twins can actually see how with all the synchronicities, all the signs, they see how much they're connected energetically. And I know my DM sees it a lot, and sometimes he doesn't tell me, but I know he does. And I mean, sometimes we obviously do know that we do the same kind of things at the same time in life. We travel at the same time, we sort out some legal questions at the same time. I don't know, we live on the same floor in the buildings, etc., etc. Like, you know, it can be small, it can be big, but there are a lot of things like that all the time. So these days, when I'm telling him something about my plans, and he's like, starts asking additional questions, because I'm like immediately thinking, oh, it sounds like a synchronicity with my life. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not, but still, it's a point where it's just undeniable. You can't argue with that anymore. You know, when it happens a few times at first, you're like, yeah, that's a coincidence. I mean, that can happen to anyone, really. But then there's so many proofs of this, you know, out of this world connection that you cannot deny it anymore. And the twins are not denying it anymore. This is where we are in the present. The twins want to get closer to each other. Knight of Cups in this deck is about moving in together. But even if you're not moving in, this is about having a more intimate communication, being able to share more, being in each other's lives more, right? Like there is this healthy longing for each other's company. And not because of a sexual passion only, not because of the hidden agendas, just because, you know, like every moment, any type of conversation, communication, or even sitting silently next to each other, it means a lot. So there is this healthy desire to be together more and to get better at communicating and expressing love. And love, again, doesn't have to be just romantic love, can be other layers of love, right? Taking care of each other, showing interest, maybe giving some friendly advice, right? Lending an ear to listen to someone else's problem, you know, things like that. That's also expression of love. And then last but not least, the Three of Pentacles is movement towards the mission, right? So the twins are seeing more clearly now where they can collaborate on something exciting, something that's passionate, that they're both passionate about. This is the master-teacher concept, right? And of course, the Three of Pentacles means like the connection of three energies together with the divine, right? But that's kind of a given, because since the twins already recognize that this is a special out of this world connection, then there's no doubt now that the divine has a part to play in it, right? That's one of the ingredients, one of the parties, right? But now the twins are seeing more clearly what kind of opportunities they have, what they can accomplish together, even if it doesn't have all the details. You know, it's like when you are drawing something, and not painting, but drawing, and you put first like the certain sketches, right? Something like subtle, and then you start adding details. So maybe it's a sketch right now. It doesn't have all the details yet, but it's real. You can touch it and tangible. And that's what makes the twins excited. And then for the future, we have the Lovers, the Four of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, so there will be some hard choices to make in the future. And at some point, the twins will have to face them alone. Although when they are together, when they are especially in each other's presence, in the physical proximity, it will feel like magic, and that feeling will only get enhanced. It will only grow stronger. It will be more magnificent. But still in the material world, there will be quite a few difficult choices that each of the twins will have to make on their own. And yes, it may feel lonely. It may feel sometimes like in the most important moment, my twin, my confidant is not here, but that's also there for a reason. It's there so that you continue your own spiritual journey. and you do not steer from the path where you have your individuality, where you have your healthy boundaries, and you don't get dissolved in this beautiful connection, right? It's easy to do that even in the karmic situations. For a lot of us, easier than we think. But imagine this beautiful connection of how great it feels, right? How supportive it is in our life. It's even easier. And it's important not to do it. So the future, the lessons that are coming up are a lot about being able to still keep your own, stay in your lane again comes to mind, but you know what I mean, right? To have your eyes on the prize, to have your eyes on your goal, on your values, on your passion. And of course, it can include your masculine or your feminine, your twin flame, your future partnership. But it shouldn't be the goal. It shouldn't be like that one star that you're looking at and that's the only thing that you want, right? Okay, let's get some messages from DMs to DFs now. This is pretty fun. We have, I'm in so much pain and I need more time. This is the Four of Cups vibes, actually. So yeah, there are certain things that divine masculines are discovering for themselves right now. And like I was saying, some of us need time, a lot of us need time to get our head around this information. And it could be that for a lot of them, I'm seeing a certain kind of betrayal, certain kind of letdown in their karmic situation, where they're shocked and heartbroken because they never expected that scenario to happen. And yes, because they had, I'm hearing, a lot invested in it, or for some it was like they had all their eggs in that basket, it's gonna take time to get around it and to be able to recover. So just so you know, feminines. Messages from feminines to masculines. And I'm hearing that this eclipse and the 11/11 portal actually brought some of that to the surface. For the feminines we have, I'm too afraid to talk to you and I lie awake thinking about a future. So yeah, more positive for sure, but there's still a need, and I'm getting that I'm too afraid to talk to you is more about the feminines intuitively feeling like they need to conserve the energy for now and to keep certain discoveries to themselves until they can work through them, process and understand the meaning behind those, and then they can share. But they definitely, it doesn't stop them from daydreaming and imagining their future with their DMs. Okay, I hope this has been useful for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon. Bye, everyone.